Well, we are changing the deck. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. Thank you for the introduction, Branko. So my name is Kate Skripchenko. This is my first time in Zagreb, so thank you very much for amazing weather and warm welcome. And today we're going to talk a little bit about, first, for those who don't know Salesforce, I hope we have very few of those in the room, but a little bit about who we are, a little bit about what our vision and the trends we're seeing in the industry, a little bit about the challenges that our customers are facing and how we can support them with that. So, first of all, can you hear me? Yes, cool. You can hear me, you can see me. I'm not as tall as Marco, but I'll do my best. So, there you go, let's go. And this works. So, before we go into everything, a little bit of compliance, because we love compliance in financial services, right? This is a note from our lawyers. You don't need to read through it, but the idea is we're a publicly traded company, so if you want to make any purchasing decision, you might see something of the roadmap today. Please make decision based on what's available. And that's all of the way. So we start with Salesforce tradition of gratitude, hvala. This is as much of Croatian as I know. But thank you for being here. Thank you to our partners, to our customers. We really want to make this success for you and a good use of your time. And when I say customer success, is because this is a part of who we are and our core values that has been driving us for a very, very long time. In fact, since 1999, trust has been #1 core value at Salesforce, and I think at the age of the AI, trust is more important than ever. So we want to make a disclaimer that we do not see your data as our product and never will be. We are focused on delivering customer success through innovations, and we continuously working on make a more equitable and more sustainable place for all of us. And this is not just the words that we have somewhere on the wall, you know, in our office. This is actually something that we adhere by and something that we genuinely believe in. And we think that business is the greatest platform for change. This is why Salesforce has 1-1-1 model, where 1% of our time, 1% of our equity, and 1% of our product we give back. And as you can see here, the impact is pretty sustainable. So it's all about doing well while doing good as well. So we are proud to be leader in philanthropy, innovation, and ethics. We're even prouder to be on the track to reach 40.9 billion in revenue this year. And none of this would be possible without all of you, our ecosystem, our customers, our partners. And together we are making an incredible impact, which brings me to reminding you what's most important of all. It's people. It's our workforces that work tirelessly to ensuring customer success. And if we have customer success, it brings success to us as an organization and defines us as a company. But the reality is that people right now are under more pressure than ever. On one hand, we have our workforces, and according to the research, on average, 41% of time employees are spending on repetitive and low-value tasks. And we will discuss today how we can support you better with that. On the other hand, we have our customers who actually want more than ever. They want to meet us where they are. They want instant response. They want experts. They want zero hold time. So the question is, how do we bridge that gap? And to tell you more about customer expectations and the trends we are seeing in banking, please welcome on stage my colleague Sherry Farouz.
Thanks.
There you go.
Amazing. So, thanks everyone for being here today. It's a pleasure to be with you. Just a brief background about myself. I've been in financial services for the past 15 years, mostly supporting the big banks like Crédit Agricole or BNP Paribas in modernizing their technology. So what I'm going to do first, what I'd like to do is not jump straight into technology. I would like to walk you through the results of a research that we've conducted recently at Salesforce. And the research is about how economic uncertainty is actually affecting customer expectations. All right, absolutely. Can everyone hear me? Yeah. All right, yeah, if you'd like to start. So yeah, we're going to talk about customer expectations and really in this economic uncertainty. And the research that we've conducted, we've analyzed or we've discussed with about 6,000 customers. You okay?
Yes. Avoided the crisis.
Okay. So yeah, we spoke with about 6,000 customers in Europe and North America. We asked them about their experience in this economic uncertainty and really what they expect from their banks. And across all the regions that we analyzed, there is one common theme, which is really there is a lot of pressures on customers, individuals and banks alike. 42% of the customers that we discussed with said that they feel less financially secure than they did just a few years ago. And only a small group, that's about 16% of customers, say that current market conditions haven't really affected the way they work or the way they do business. But most, however, are having to adjust their plans and really are looking for guidance in how to plan for the future. And it is in this economic uncertainty that we've asked them about what they're looking for from their banks. And we know that the experience that they get from the bank in this economic uncertainty is more important than ever. All right, so against this backdrop of uncertainty, we asked customers what they truly value in their relationship with their banks. And three key themes emerged. The first one, guess what? It's digital. So customers expect seamless digital experiences. They want to complete tasks quickly and easily, whether it's creating an account or whether it's managing their investments. Secondly, they want to have a proactive engagement from their bank. What I mean by that is they want their banks to understand what they're looking for. They also need their banks to reach out to them proactively. So they don't want to have to wait to explain really what their challenges are before their bank sends them a message. And third, there is a renewed focus on trust, transparency, and control. What I mean by that is that customers today are more cautious than ever about their data. They don't want to share their data with everyone, and when they share their data, they want to see clear value from it. So they want to see personalized offers. They don't want to be treated like a number. They want also the organization that they're dealing with to treat them not just as a number, not like a number, but like a person. So what I'm going to do over the next few sections, I'm going to talk about each one of these themes, and then I'm going to talk about the challenges that we are seeing with a lot of banks on dealing with those challenges, the reason why some of them are unable to meet these expectations fully, and then talk about our Salesforce approach for it. Okay? So we all realize that digital banking is not a side channel anymore. We're all using digital banking online, and customers expect to manage routine tasks online. According to our research, 72% of customers want to ask for a debit card online, so they don't want to have to go to the bank, to the branch in order to request one. 71% of them want to do the same for credit card, and almost 70% of customers want to create bank account without having to go to the branch. So they want to be able to do it either by their mobile phone or they want to be able to do it online. And this doesn't just concern simple tasks, it also concerns more complex needs, such as managing their investments or planning for the future. So we know that the demand is there, the demand for a digital channel is there. However, when we ask customers about their digital experience, 5 key frustrations kept coming back. So the first one is customers feel trapped by traditional chatbots. Really here I'm talking about chatbots that are rigidly developed, chatbots that don't really understand complex questions. So I've recently had an experience, for example, with my bank, I'm not going to mention their name, where I kept asking a question, and each time, it told me that they didn't really understand. It will take me through an algorithmic approach, telling me that I had to ask one of the 5 specific questions for it to be able to provide me with an answer. But thanks to generative AI, we're able to provide a better experience. We're able to provide agents that can act human-like and really interact with the person as if they're speaking with a human. Another challenge that people are facing is about finding the right information and accessing customer support. They go online, they would like to access the information about how to create an account or how to request a credit card, and they end up spending a lot of time doing it, while it should be a very seamless experience. Then there is another frustration, which is around personalization. A lot of customers today keep receiving generic messages, messages that are not specifically tailored to their needs, messages that don't address the situations they are in. And this makes them feel as if they are just a number. So it doesn't really make them feel that they are individuals, but they are just one number among so many other customers. And lastly, a lot of customers have different experiences across multiple channels. So whether they're using the phone or whether they're using the web, they feel that when they're using these different channels, that they are communicating with different companies, that they are not in reality communicating with the same entity. So the challenge is really there. And it's not just it's not challenges just about digital channels, but customers also are facing the same frustrations when they're communicating with their banks over the phone or in person. So digital channels is a must-have, we said that earlier. However, customers still need to have a proactive, human-centric approach when they're dealing in times of challenges. So a lot of customers that we spoke with said that they expect their banks to engage with them proactively, especially in times of challenges like what we are living at the moment. So they want them to engage with them, to ask about how they're doing, and really to provide recommendations. However, half of the customers that we spoke with, or 48% of them, said that their banks don't proactively reach out to them. And 37% of them said that their banks anticipated their needs when they needed to. So customers, as I said before, want personalized journeys. They want to be understood by their banks. And in times of challenges, having a proactive approach matters a lot. So customers don't feel just as members, but they feel supported by a financial partner. And all of what we talked about, whether it's digital ease or whether it's a human-centric approach, sits on the customer expectation of trust. We're hearing all the time about data breach. We're hearing all the time about how data can be misused by other entities. However, thankfully, in the financial sector, oh, I'm sorry, I think I moved too long. So thankfully, in the financial sector, people place a great level of trust on their banks. So they know that the data is safe. However, when they share their data, customers expect something in return. They just want to share their data with their financial provider. They expect to have savings. They expect to have more personalized journeys. So again, it's not just about collecting as much data as possible, but it's about knowing how to use that data in order to provide a better experience. And so far, we've been talking about customer expectations. And really what we said in summary is that customers expect personalized, seamless, cross-channel communications with their banks. But the fact is that a lot of banks that we speak with are facing internal realities. They're facing a lot of internal challenges that make it very difficult for them to meet those expectations. Just to give you a rough scale of magnitude, the average bank overall has more than 500 applications. So 500 applications that they need to manage. And an engagement manager uses more than 10 applications in order to handle a single customer relationship. So they have to swivel chair between 10 different applications in order to understand really what the communication is about, what the customer history is, and in order to provide recommendations. So the result is that 40% of the time of those engagement managers is actually spent on non-value-add tasks. So they're having to rekey information between different systems, they're having to consolidate reports, and they're having to manually analyze documents. And it is not just about productivity, it's also about customer experience. Because when we have consolidated solutions, when we have systems that don't really talk to each other, and when we don't have a lot of automation, this typically results in delays, and it typically results in a disjointed customer experience. And this is really when Salesforce comes in. So the Salesforce platform, what it is actually, first of all, it's a platform, and I will explain in a bit what a platform is, and it's not just a product. So it is designed to actually break down the data silos It's also designed to add a level of automation, a level of industry expertise on top of your data. And it also gives your employees or your workforce all the tools they need in order to place really customers in the center of everything they do. To give you an example on how other customers are actually using Salesforce. So with the 360 view, we're able to consolidate all the data that we have about a single person, about a single bank or commercial entity we're dealing with. So this way, we are managed to track their history. We also can track their needs. We can also track their propensity to buy. So all that information is present within one single screen. And the idea here is to allow users to quickly have a full visibility of their customers without having to move systems. And the beauty of this is that the data doesn't have to be all located in Salesforce. So we've invested a lot over the last few years on a solution that we refer to as Data Cloud. I don't really like to name solutions, but that's what the product is. And it is a solution that allows us to bring in data from various systems. Because we understand that banks typically will have invested a lot in their infrastructure. And asking banks to replace, to ditch all their investments and just implement a new solution is not feasible. So what we do, we provide the tools necessary in order to bring data from various sources and present it to users so that they have the feeling that they are actually working with only one application. Secondly, we also have a certain level, a fair amount actually, of automation across multiple channels. And one of actually the biggest challenges that we speak with banks about is really the onboarding process. It's time consuming, not efficient, requires a lot of human involvement. And what we've done, we've actually embedded in our solution all those banking processes so you don't have to develop them from scratch. Salesforce is not a generic solution, it's an industry-specific solution. So meaning a lot of banking processes have already been implemented. And lastly, when it comes to productivity, now we are really in the age of AI. So having all the data is great, but being able to use that data is even better. And this is really when predictive AI comes into play. So I'm first starting with predictive AI, and it's all about really predicting how customers will interact with us, predicting what next best actions are, what products that the customer may be interested in, so that we're not just guessing about customer behavior or about their challenges. The product can actually give recommendations. And next, we have generative AI that allows us really to generate content, and as I said before, interact with customers in a human-like way. And to really talk about how this looks like from architectural point of view, as I was saying, Salesforce is not a product, it's a platform. And what I mean by that, it's a platform on top of which you can build any application. So it is a low-code, no-code platform. It's been consistently ranked by Gartner as the #1 low-code, no-code platform. And on top of that, we've implemented solutions that allow you to manage the entire life cycle of this customer. So from marketing to sales to service. And we've added a level of industry on top of it. So if you look on the left side of the screen, industries, and this is really where we created the data model that's specific for the banking industry. This is where we created securities that are specific to the banking industry. This is also what we've added industry-specific processes like onboarding. And the idea here is that we want to allow customers or banks to implement the solution quickly. So some banks that I deal with can implement the solution in really a matter of months, depending on their requirements, when we're talking about MVPs, versus having to spend years, trying to refine the solution, understand the requirements, and then release it. So on top of this Customer 360, really the capabilities that I'm talking about, we've added a layer of intelligence. I initially talked about predictive AI, which is really about understanding the needs of customers. But recently, we've also added what we refer to as agentic AI. So think of an agent as really as a robot that works as part of your team. And it's not a robot that's going to replace your team, but it's a robot that's going to work alongside them, being like a co-pilot, giving your employees the right information at the right time, and replacing traditional chatbots when customers want to have complex discussions. And a lot of customers are actually using this solution. One of them is Ponce Bank. So this is a bank that we worked with based in New York. And when we started working with this bank, they had no less than 54 engagement solutions. So that's 54 solutions used for marketing, for service, and for sales. And what they wanted to do, they wanted to consolidate everything. They wanted to reduce the cost of operation because it was costing them a lot. And their ambition at the time was to go from 1 billion in managed assets to 2 billion in managed assets. So we started working with them in 2021, and they've actually went above that target of 2 billion in managed assets. They are now at 3 million in managed assets. And I'm not saying that Salesforce obviously took them, made all that happen, but Salesforce is the solution that's flexible enough to make that happen. Salesforce is the solution that actually grew up with them as they grew as a business. And now they have consolidated all their systems into really one platform, so they're not using 54 anymore, they're only using one. So one across marketing, one across sales, and across service. So this has been a real time saver for them. And as I was saying before, this is one use case of a company that's decided to replace all their engagement solutions with one platform. But I've also worked with a lot of companies that decide only to replace certain capabilities. They don't really want to scrap their investments. They want to keep their investments, and they want to actually make it better. So the way Salesforce works is it can integrate with all traditional solutions to make those solutions more user-friendly, to make their data more visible, so that really employees don't have to work with those old systems. They're dealing with a modern solution like Salesforce, but still with the processes that are embedded in the back end. All right? So next what I will do, I will hand it over to Kate, who will talk to us about Agentforce, obviously, and explain really what innovations we're bringing.
Thank you. Thank you, Sherif. Wait, I need a clicker. There you go.
Pocket. I was about to take it home.
Okay, there you go. Too many microphones, clickers. Is it okay, sound-wise? Yeah, perfect. So, guys, you have heard from Sherif that our customers want seamless engagement from many digital channels in a zero time. And we can support them with our deeply integrated platform that Salesforce is, that combines data plus AI plus CRM. However, that doesn't solve the problem of a limited workforce and our workforce being stranded. So, which is why we asked ourselves, what if workforce has no limits? What if they were able to scale, available 24/7, connect via every channel? This is why we have created Agentforce. So we don't have to promise quality over speed. Agentforce is a digital labor platform for limitless workforces. So as Sherif mentioned, it's kind of integrated into Salesforce platform. It allows you to bring digital workforce to any department in your organization and scale it with any processes, whether they're internal or external, that work seamlessly with your people where it's most convenient for them, which leverages all your other technologies that you've already invested in, so you can take the value out of them. This is unlocking new limitless growth. For us, we call it digital labor revolution. And this is not agents replacing humans, it's actually agents working with humans together to ensure they take care of repetitive, low-value tasks, scale, and provide 24/7 availability, while human can focus on more creative, complex tasks, personalized access to the customer. So with that, we're really enabling limitless growth. And we are really, our own first patient, number 0, right? So we are proud to be an Agentforce company, and Agentforce is enabled in our support teams, and it handles 30,000 conversations per week and indexing more than 700,000 articles to help manage those conversations. Same with our sales. 25,000 people of sellers across the world in Salesforce have their dedicated sales coach, which is our agent that help us to have better interactions with our customers. And it's not just us we're inspired by success our customers are having with Agentforce. And I would like to make an example of RBC, so Royal Bank of Canada. Their wealth management used AI and Agentforce to really redefine the wealth management service. So Agentforce helps every wealth manager to be an expert, delivering insights, delivering portfolio analysis, to be able to have more personalized, more contextual interaction every time they interact with a customer. So they're empowering advisors to enhance customer experience through this intelligent labor. Now, similar to RBC, there are no doubt that the companies are seeing benefits of Gen AI, and you can see some of them on these slides, like, for example, increasing productivity up to 25%. Doesn't sound bad, right? In fact, 9 of 10 executives believe that generative AI can bring the value to their business. But reality is, despite all the benefits, banks are still facing roadblocks on their journey. And those roadblocks are trust gap, as we call it, so things like security, compliance, accuracy. We want to make sure we act within the regulations. We want to make sure your sensitive data stays and doesn't leave organization. And we also want to ensure that all this hype about AI is actually paid off and we have return on our investment. And of course, we need to be compliant, right? And AI regulation are in place, and I think it's going to be more and more focus for regulators moving forward. And whenever we talk about AI adoption in the organization, there are 4 topics like governance, compliance, risk management, and auditability that actually come as top of mind. Well, the good news is that Agentforce is enabler of compliance and risk mitigation. So autonomous agents can detect unusual behaviors in real time. They could spot some anomalies, and they can provide instant alerts to ensure you have better data, you have better processes, you are regulatory compliant, and you have proactive fraud prevention. So what does it feel like to be an Agentforce bank? Imagine your advisors and relationship managers and support team having superpowers. Instant meeting prep, seamless KYC process, digital SDR, help with loan origination or lost card. All of this is possible with Agentforce. You can see some of the use cases here, but in general, I would say Agentforce for financial services can perform all of these tasks, scaling your team and ensuring you as a bank have agility of fintech that we are competing with without compromising compliance and security. So let me walk you through just some of these cases. One of the examples is a banking SDR. So let's say our customer reaches out via the mobile app and wants to know what are the current mortgage rates. And the agent would take the input, go through all of the needed information and banking policy, and create the quote for pre-approval. However, the agent knows that it has to be only human that actually quotes and approves. So agent identify the loan originator and will send them a message saying that there is a lead that they need to take over while having everything already prepared for them. Or let's take another example. Imagine there is a relationship manager that gets ready for an upcoming meeting with a high-value customer. And they're asking their agent to help them pull all relevant client data and some external probably data to create insights and create this initial plan, which can be customizable based on relationship management feedback. So they come to the meeting prepared with the context, with the relevant data, and that all done is much faster than they would do research themselves. And this is just one of the possible applications. Later today, we're going to see Agentforce in action. But just other use cases include lead management, corporate actions assistant, and more and more. In fact, applications are limitless. And we are very excited to be on this journey together because we think this is a new horizon for every company. Now, I always say it's better to see once than to hear 10 times. So I would like to show you another customer of ours that is leveraging the benefits of Salesforce platform together with AI. And let's see if that's gonna work.
Within the banking world, there is one absolutely golden corporate client, and that is the company which has ambition to grow internationally. If I'm helping that same company with regulation, helping with the shipment, then I'm giving them an end-to-end journey, which crucially, no one else can do.
And we have to be at the front foot of supporting our clients because we work in a competitive world.
The Salesforce platform enables us to uniquely nail this magic trio of AI, data, and CRM.
We've done that with Santander Navigator, and we couldn't have done it without Salesforce's support.
Santander Navigator is a one-stop shop platform to support businesses to grow internationally. So we have a vegan bakery looking to get into the UAE for the first time. They have a lot to think about. For instance, the regulations in that market or their labelling in different types of Arabic. We're able to support them at every step of the way. They go through the journey and we'll go through it with them.
The most important thing for us on the platform is to make sure that it is personalised.
You won't be able to do that without AI. AI enables you to scale this up. Working with the Salesforce platform, we are able now to possess a unique, differentiated data set.
That then gives us almost a crystal ball for our relationship teams. This is data that empowers us to be able to truly have a conversation as a partner with that business.
We're not just suggesting products for the sake of suggesting products, we're suggesting products because they need the products, because we know the journeys. And I love that it enables us to be more productive.
So Salesforce is giving us that single source of truth delivered via a hyper-relevant CRM system, which benefits and helps grow both us and crucially our clients.
Trust has to be at the core of what we do. We are a bank. We are truly passionate about supporting businesses to grow.
From an AI and automation perspective, we've got Santander Navigator and a greater suite of Salesforce technology. It enables us to not only grow here in the UK, but enable us to connect businesses across the world.
This is about us being future-proof and having that 360 view of what the client needs across that international journey.
It enables us to connect information, to connect partners, to create a great experience for our clients. We need to put the client at the heart of everything we do.
And with that, thank you very much for your time.